I was like, I'm going to be the bigger man. I'm going to get over this. And, like, Dave was like, no, you're not. And,
it's
and then, like, 5 minutes later, I was like, Oklahoma by 7. Barstool Pick'em is brought to you by our friends at Cross Country Mortgage. As you know, I'm a rider. We all know I'm a rider. Who's a rider? Me. We're all riders here. What do riders do? They go to Cross Country Mortgage as their home buying partner. Don't be a scale. Don't keep throwing away money on rent. Cross Country Mortgage has a team of loan officers dedicated to getting you the best possible loan terms available. They have an average close time of 21 days, which is ridiculously fast. They've got a wide variety of loan types, which means they've got everything to cover everyone. Don't be a scale. Don't go with anything other than the best. When it comes to your mortgage, even if you're not ready to buy a cross-country mortgage or buy a home, Cross Country Mortgage can help you in a scoring position to buy a home. So go to Cross Country Mortgage right now. CrossCountryMortgage.com/Barstool. Cross Country Mortgage can take care of you through the home buying process. Cross Country Mortgage LLC, NMLS 3029. All loans subject to underwriting approval. www.nmlsconsumeraccess.org. All right, here we go. Week 7.
It's flying along, isn't it?
It is flying along. Week 7.
Sick.
Update. Rico has jumped into the lead. I have been so goddamn bad. I apologize to the people. I'm going to do a new strategy. I gotta figure it out because I've been very, very bad. Rico is now in first. Dave is 6-1 in his mortal locks.
Pretty impressive.
He keeps hitting them.
Oh, most of them easy too. You
Most
said
of them
that.
very easy.
It'd be like it'd be nice, to have everyone. I don't know how many people bet it last week, but we had that prop, so I did my part. That's all I can do.
Looking at it right now, I
Still
think
up on the year. We'll pull our weight.
I mean,
part of my problem, I think, is that I have more plays than Dave and Rico combined. Could be a problem when you look at it. Could be a problem, but that's okay.
Just law
I'm
of
a volume
averages.
shooter. I love volume.
honest question. So Rico had a good week last week, right? What were you, Rico? 12-8.
Two good weeks together.
But what the week? Oh yeah, I don't know why it's
straight up. It wasn't a good week because I loaded up on Alabama.
What is that stuff on? Oh,
Locks.
Lock. Got it. Yeah. So the 12-8, but then it. I mean, obviously, Bama was the worst pick ever. So it's like, how do you, and I'm not even, like, how do you view that when your mortal lock is that bad, but you have good picks?
Because, like, I lost my mortal lock, but Memphis was in that game. They were driving.
And even on a real bankroll.
Terrible.
Like, you do units and stuff. So generally, if
I'm only down a little this year.
Also, Rico,
You're right.
can I ask a question? Why don't you respond to me and Dave texting you anymore?
I mean, what am I going to do? I lost the fucking pick. I got to take a beating
together.
That was an understatement.
Yeah. But we root
I gotta
for
take
it
a beating?
together.
You have legendary bad picks. Like, when you're bad, you miss by like a hundo.
We're all trying.
And when I win,
Hank?
they win easy.
I'm just trying to double check here with the sheet. And what the sheet.
Hey, what are the bets that people?
Oh, stop sucking.
What are the bets though that people get to play?
54%.
The pick'em parlay.
That's Rico.
Pick'em parlay is where we're making
all
people.
season.
Wait, Rico's was the only pick that lost. Wait, Rico's pick was the only pick that lost.
Baylor, West Virginia, won by
I'm
a million.
6-1.
Like I know I can pick my spots. Air Force beat New Mexico 2 weeks ago by 100.
I'm 86% on my mortal loss.
I already, because you know what? I own my bad picks. I say they're bad before they're fucking.
I tweeted it. Alabama bad pick.
He doesn't respond to us.
I tweeted it.
He doesn't
You did
respond
tweet
to
that.
us.
I will
Alabama
say,
bad pick.
I will say,
Man of honor.
and nobody saw that coming. Nobody.
Right.
Anybody's saying now. Granted, there's a difference between not seeing coming and getting outrighted as like 20-point favorite. I don't understand though your first half. When you go into road stadiums that you figure, I don't know, I never agree with the way you do it. It didn't matter. But I feel like bad teams or inferior teams play on crowd emotion in the beginning, so I don't know why you do that. But that's your call.
I was so against A&M. I went against them at Mississippi State.
Go game.
Here's what I don't get it. Like, Dave and I are trying to help you along. Alabama is down 17-7 in the first half. I write to everyone, field goal, exclamation point, because we
Not
just kicked
everyone.
a field goal. And Dave says, huge. So we only need three TDs in the next 5 minutes. I said,
Doable
yep, but we got
when
to
you're
stay
Alabama?
positive. And nothing from you. I don't know. Just be nice.
I wrote that one off.
It'd be nice. All right. That was a crazy week of college football. Crazy.
By far the best week of the season. And this week just doesn't have the potential. There's not.
It's apple picking Saturday.
Yeah, this is not a great card.
Katie, congratulations on graduating. You missed the Katie Stats Award for person who almost got thrown off the plane. Went to Casey Smith on Saturday. Yes,
I heard about that.
It was bad. It was a bad scene.
I didn't hear about that. What happened?
She was sitting with me, Dave, and Big Ev, and Big Ev and I had just suffered the Ole Miss loss, which was brutal. Shout out Rico for tweeting Matty Covers.
I tried to give him a nickname.
Oh, you're a hypocrite. That's fine.
I tried to give him a nickname.
And then you blocked our very good customer, loyal supporters, Stoolies. You say fuck you to them, and then you block them. That's neither here nor there. But anyway, Big Ev and I were dead with Ole Miss, and we were like, that really sucks. And Casey was like, well, it really sucks because Oklahoma is dead. And we're like, no, it's not. The game is still going on. And we're like, Big Ev and I were like, well, we have Texas really big, and it fucking sucks right now because everything's turning against us. Then she went to the back of the plane, and like, I don't know, 5 minutes later, she goes, Oklahoma by 7, and started doing the dun 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 dun. Yeah, she did this in our face.
Great song, but you don't want to hear it.
Killed us. Like,
what are you laughing at
right
me
in our
for?
face.
Like, I fucking did it.
And almost like said it like we were going to cheer with her.
I was hoping this would be right on the part.
Texas.
She did this. Oklahoma, touch
7. That's what she said. Brutal beat. And
this was just
right
going on the plane.
Right
Dan must have said it 1,000 times. I mean, he was really mad. Anybody who knows Dan well enough like knows how he's doing, what plays are his big ones, what he needs, because he'll turn a foul mood when he needs something. At that point, he was in it's very similar to Katie. He was in a foul mood. He must have said Oklahoma by 7 100 times. I laughed. I couldn't stop. Every time he said it, I had
in
to
the
laugh.
car to the show, waiting in the RV. It was just, and the worst part is we were talking about it because I said it to Dave in, I think it was like halfway through the third quarter, or no, it was right around the fourth quarter, when it was a tie game. I was like, I know exactly what's going to happen. Oklahoma's going to be trying to play for a field goal, and they're going to break a play.
You said it would be a weird ending, but that was vicious.
But I said it. I was like, my gambling spidey
You
sense.
have a fucking knack to
That
say that stuff, but it only fucks you.
We didn't see it in real time. Playing for a field goal and breaking is vicious. But in this song, by the way, if you want to like rub it in somebody's face, this may be the most aggravating.
Oklahoma by 7.
In old Pick'em, you guys did say that this was the best of all time.
Yeah,
never.
No. We said it is the one song when things start to go against you.
Yes, we may have said that. It's on loop, and that's why I had. I think that's why I was laughing.
All right, so that's what you said.
You
played that. You played the
when
USC
Oklahoma gets
one.
rolling,
yeah, but no, right. This when they're playing fucking Tulsa at home under the lights, they're up 80-0, and this is just on repeat. And that's how every time you said Oklahoma by 7, I had that in my mind.
Just brutal. And it was like how many. I kept on tweeting like I'm only human. How many body blows can one man take? Because it was just and the sadder is that we have, because we're in the air half the time. It's like
you can't watch.
We're just fucking getting just punched in the face.
I will say.
Well, hold on. Let me ask you.
Casey
Did
is
you
the opposite of you on the plane, in which I very clearly know you're. I can't tell. She's emotional on all the games, so you actually don't know where she's most invested in. So that I think is what does, because it may have been that game.
Yeah, Alabama and Texas A&M are playing, and all I care is I need a Wake Forest Syracuse update. Yeah.
What did you take? Did you take the 4 knockout punch like Big Ev did at night? Did you have Virginia Tech and Nebraska?
I had Virginia Tech. I thankfully had Nebraska plus 3.5.
You had Tech?
Yeah, I switched.
Oh, I didn't know you switched.
I made 2 switches. One good. I switched to Georgia.
So you gave Andy on the show.
No, I gave Virginia Tech on the show.
No, you
Remember
didn't.
I wore the turkey hat.
Yes.
Oh,
Virginia
right.
Tech.
Yeah,
well, why
you
was
mean the
I
college
getting
football
booed?
show.
You gave out Notre Dame.
You gave out Notre Dame?
I gave out Notre Dame.
Yes,
My bad.
yes.
I got so confused.
I switched to Virginia Tech and I switched to Georgia. So I went 1-1 on my switches.
You were right, but you got put. Yeah,
you
said it too. You're like, as great as you guys are,
Virginia
Notre
Tech
Dame's
as
going to
a
win the
school,
game. Yeah, you said Notre Dame's going to win the game.
Yeah,
but Notre Dame's not very good. But that was a game Notre Dame will win. I was good at night. I had Notre Dame. I didn't touch Michigan. I'm a pussy. I would have had that. What was the other late?
There was a
A&M.
No, I didn't have that.
No, there was one other
The Kentucky LSU?
Oh, I had Kentucky, yeah.
Yeah. But I had Virginia Tech, I had Ole Miss, and I had Texas. Now, I should say, because what we do as gamblers is we always talk about the losses and nothing goes right. Iowa was very lucky. Because if Sean Clifford doesn't get hit out of that game, Penn State wins that game.
And you can go back on forth, because that early game, the Ole Miss Arkansas game, which was a devastating way to lose.
Those two together were just
That
like, it sucked all the way
I was
back.
live doing that for Big Ev, and he died. And I think there was 1 second. I saw Rico saying there shouldn't have been a second on the clock.
If you're the hometown clock operator,
we were
absolutely
not.
not.
So we didn't know. So
well, just think of it this way: it's the home stadium. It's Ole Miss's stadium.
Yeah. I didn't see it.
Just fucking run out the clock.
But I mean, they review that. No,
it was one of those make them fix it.
I didn't see it. Regardless,
I get a loose thumb.
I was watching.
I would get a loose thumb.
What did Arkansas have, like 30 seconds to go down and score? They score. They don't get the 2. That was a heartbreaker. But Arkansas was the right side that entire game.
But Texas was the right side in the Oklahoma game.
I don't even know.
Yeah, they were.
They beat the shit out of them.
Yeah, no, and
then came back.
But at
obviously.
one point, it looked like
Oklahoma 3.5 in that game.
Yeah, but Oklahoma took a 7-point lead, and it looked like they may win by 20 at that point. Yeah. They didn't come back in like the final seconds.
It was brutal.
Great day of college football, though.
Great day of college football. Fucking brutal. I just got. It's just you take body blows all day, and eventually you're just gonna get knocked out. But I'm still there. I'm still surviving. I'm gonna come back. But yeah, the Oklahoma by 7.
This fight song, man.
Casey and I need to still talk to her and be like, I'm over it, but I'm not over it. So I need to get over it. Like I actually said in the Uber to the stadium, to the show, I was like, I'm gonna be the bigger man. I'm gonna get over this. And Dave was like, no, you're not. And
no,
and then 5 minutes later, I was like, Oklahoma by 7.
It's Casey's very emotional and plays, and she knows a ton about college football.
No, it's not.
She gets caught up in early.
It wasn't. It's
you
nothing
gotta wait
personal. It's just the Oklahoma by 7 was just. It was.
I thought it was
like Jim Carrey and Liar Liar. I've had better. Brushing your teeth.
Soared through my heart when I needed
and we don't
a
unit shame. So she had the game.
Yeah, no, she did.
So
she wanted to win,
but. That's the war of being on a plane with some people on different sides. I mean, I the maddest I've ever been at, fucking Gaz was March Madness when he was like 16-0 for, I think he won $80 and I was down like 300,000.
Yeah, because he faded you.
Yeah, he faded. Yeah. He was winning $10 a game and celebrating like Paul does, Paulie playoffs, like it's the most important thing in the world.
All right. Any other thoughts from this before we get into the games? Any other thoughts from the weekend?
I do have one thought.
Yes. Michigan's back all the way.
I've been so honest. I'm not doing the pom-poms rah-rah speech. We haven't beaten anybody. That was a nice win.
Where do you get Ohio State this year?
At Michigan. So Michigan has.
We have 10. We have Michigan State. We have Penn State. We fucking probably have the 85 Bears.
Yes.
We have a very tough schedule.
There's two weekends in the Big Ten that are going to be incredible. October 30th is Michigan at Michigan State, Penn State at Ohio State, and then at the end of the month after Thanksgiving is Ohio State at Michigan and Penn State at Michigan State.
Plus you add in the Halloween, which is
Iowa and
Halloween
too.
crowd.
Watch out, that could be a good game, right?
Listen. I know Wisconsin sucks. If Iowa doesn't bring their A game to Madison, that could be a tricky spot because Wisconsin's defense is still very, very good.
Two things now, actually. The first of all is I haven't watched a Michigan game like that in a long time. It was great to see. Nebraska is so important for the Big Ten. If they could just be good,
just the helmets,
everything
stands,
about them. They were a Big 12 power, and they've been terrible since they've come. But I mean, that's all they care about. It's a great environment, so it's good to see like those two teams under the lights playing a great game. And then this is not necessarily regarded to the.
Sorry, you know what we forgot about though with Frost and Harbaugh. He was the one at UCF saying we out hit him. Harbaugh and Frost have that fucking rivalry from a couple of years back. Do you remember that at all?
Vaguely. That was UCF.
But what does that have to do with what Dave was saying?
Just it added layers to the game that
like
we didn't touch on. It's like
I do remember.
He said we out hit him.
Yeah,
like
I didn't
Frost and Harbaugh.
Frost,
that was a reason.
Frost has a lot of guys.
Fair enough.
What I was going to say, and it's not directly related, but it's just something I want to say quickly. The White Sox-Dave incident with John Cusack. As riders, we all have to condemn Cusack.
Yes.
Because he is somebody who challenges people to fights, says he's a big man, tough guy.
Doesn't like Jays.
Yup.
Whoa. You can't fucking say that. You can't fucking say that.
Wait, why?
You don't like Jews.
Who, Cusack?
No, Cusack. You can't say that about me.
I was talking about Cusack.
He's talking about Cusack.
Why did you just get confused?
Because he's very defensive.
You're trying to put it together.
What are you talking about?
Why?
Did you just think I was describing you?
Methinks the lady doth
Then why did you just say you? I literally said John Cusack.
I saw where you were going.
Which is what?
I do some of those things.
What? Not liking Jews?
No.
Oh.
Well, you did bring pork on Yom Kippur.
Yep.
Right.
You did have
That was a quick thing. Never mind. I'm done.
Yeah, methinks the lady doth protest
Yeah, I don't
too much.
want to. I'm not trying to make anybody.
But we should. You're right, Dave. Like people who challenge people to fights online, who say "fuck you" and then block them, and then tweet like
blasphemous, just fake shit about me. Like I'm the sounding board for like OAN. Like what are you talking about? Before I even know, and then he keeps saying. Like White Sox Dave, who's a Neanderthal. Oh, you beat Dave in a battle of words? Big whoop. Like, don't let me play with the adults, but then you block the adults. So that type of behavior we condemn as riders.
Unacceptable. Saying blasphemous stuff about Dave online, unacceptable.
Right.
Rico?
I don't know why you thought that was about you, Rico.
Yeah.
All right. I apologize.
How many TVs does Dave have?
I've only seen the one, from what I've been told.
You want to do the bet?
No, because
he has 6 TVs right now. Exactly.
That's what I thought.
Okay.
Anyways.
Thank you, Dave. That's actually a very important message we got to remember.
Yeah,
and also, just a quick message because we've been going everywhere. We've been traveling everywhere. We're going to Tennessee this weekend. Very excited.
Super excited.
Going to Denver, going to Indiana possibly, going maybe back to Michigan, everywhere. It's the fans, it's the stoolies, it's the people that we see that give us life. They are the reason we exist. They are the reason that my kid can wear cool shoes and I have a life that I love. It's because of the fans. So I want to say, the fans, thank you. We love you. And anyone who blocks you or calls you an asshole, fuck them.
Agreed.
Rico?
Agreed.
Anything else?
Agreed.
Anything else?
No.
You don't like the fans?
I do like the fans.
You do? All of them?
Dave puts the tweet out. They come running for the clout of
special shout out to Mike Reevy.
Yeah, saying
Dave
horrible
and I
things.
Follow,
all right.
Who's a really good guy who got blocked and harassed online for some reason last week. And he bet like every single one of our bets. Look at this guy, Mike Reevy, Dave, who I don't know if you follow. Oh, no, you do follow him.
I do follow him.
You do follow him. He was defending us against John Cusack as well. Like, that's what a rider is. A guy who gets in the mud with us, who bets with us, who loves us, who supports us, who buys T-shirts. Could you imagine ever saying fuck you to that guy? No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. All right, let's do some games. Let's do some games. Felix Gray real quick. Dave, you're wearing your Felix Gray blue light glasses. It started it all.
Yeah. And it's
Code
great.
Pick'em.
It's great when we code pick 'em. It's great when we actually have advertisers that like I would wear and use regardless if they advertise. There's one of them. I wear them all the time. I actually now even wear them at home watching TV because my eyes get fucked if I don't wear them. So Felix Gray, great glasses. Use the code PICK'em.
Pick'em, non-prescription and prescription available. Check them out now at felixgrayglasses.com/pick'em. That's FELIXGRAY glasses.com/pick'em. Free shipping, free returns, free exchanges. felixgrayglasses.com/pick'em. I want to throw in one last thing. Oklahoma at 12-1 to win the national title. Thoughts? Thoughts?
Maybe if the plan is to eventually hedge it, but there's no chance.
Well, no, it would be. So here's my thought process. Okay, it's two-part. It's two-part. One is Caleb Williams, obviously, is an upgrade to Spencer Rattler. Their defense was bad against Texas, but it has been better. If Caleb Williams can run that offense better, I think you'll see more Oklahoma, even though I like TCU this week. You'll see more of a traditional Oklahoma. Alabama's lost now. If Georgia beats Alabama in the SEC championship game, does Alabama get in? I don't know if they do.
With 2 losses?
2 losses.
I wouldn't.
I mean, it really depends what else is going on, right?
But if Alabama doesn't get in, Georgia will be the 1 seed. They'll play a 4 seed that will most likely either be Cincinnati or Oregon. Probably Cincinnati or Oregon. And the 2-3 matchup would be Oklahoma versus like Ohio State or not Penn State or Michigan. Let's throw it out there. So now you have Oklahoma in a winnable game, and you have them at 12-1. Thoughts?
It's a lot of stuff that went.
Do you think they can get in with a loss?
I do. I think this
Really?
is going to be chaos.
Okay.
Yeah. This is all basically
Because I'm
on
looking
the
at
fact-
November at Jailer, Iowa State at home, at Oklahoma State. That's a tough 3-game run.
It is.
Oklahoma.
It is. I think they can get in with one
3-game
loss.
run.
I think they can get
I
in with
love the
one
value.
loss.
I love the.
I'm just thinking about the fact that
antlers or the.
If Georgia beats
antennas.
Alabama, Georgia will be the 1 seed, and now the other side of the bracket is a lot easier because I think people assume that it was going to be Georgia and Alabama in the playoff. Georgia and Alabama won't play each other, so essentially Georgia and Alabama will both be in the national championship.
I like your thought process a lot.
I don't know. Just throwing that out there.
12 to 1.
I also like this Caleb Williams kid. Those throws were fucking insane.
12 to 1, huh?
Just a thought. Just a thought. Okay. Also, if you listened to me last week about taking Iowa, I think they've gone down. Oh no, they're still 25 to 1 to win the national title. I might take a little bit of Iowa under the same premise.
Yeah, there's a lot. It's not a bad thought. Dan.
It's literally the same premise that if Iowa can win the Big Ten championship game, and Georgia beats Alabama, Iowa will be a 2 or a 3 seed.
But can Iowa not Iowa themselves and lose to who's left on Iowa's
I know
schedule?
they can. Wisconsin and Nebraska. You're right. But I'm saying if you get Iowa. If Iowa can win the Big Ten championship game, which is maybe a big ask because Ohio State, I think, is still going to be the best team in the Big Ten, you then have Iowa at 25 to 1 in a game that won't be a huge line in the semis, and then I don't know. Just thinking.
No, that's why I'm now paying real close attention to Oklahoma because the thought process on Iowa.
Yes,
you've already cut it in half. The
whole thing is based on the fact that everyone assumed that it was going to be Alabama and Georgia in the playoff, and now that Alabama caught a loss, they might not make the playoff if they don't win the SEC championship game. All right, let's get to the games though. Anything else, Heisman? Anything else, Rico? Anything?
Nah, I mean,
Jake Haney, how's he doing? Heisman
he's out.
conversation?
He's no longer
out?
in the conversation.
Did you hear that, Dave?
I did. We'll remove him.
Okay.
So
removed from the conversation. He was in the conversation for one show, but now he's removed.
Yeah.
What are you looking up?
I'm just looking at the Big 12.
What do you think about Oregon 50 to 1?
I don't hate it under the same thought process.
They're just you see what's I mean whatever. I'm picking them this week, but they're in trouble at running back. Is what I'm worried about.
Actually, let me take that back. That's a different thought process because Oregon, if they get to the playoff, would probably be the 4 seed.
Got it.
So they would have to play.
And
Georgia.
either way, with one loss, don't you think they're picking Ohio State over Oregon anyway?
Yes,
I do too.
No.
Yeah,
they both have one loss. Rico,
Ohio State's.
What did you just say?
Did
you hear what he just said?
What was it?
If Oregon and Ohio State both have one loss, they're picking Ohio State over Oregon.
Yeah, well, that just can't happen.
Count Ohio
That
State's.
can't. Rico,
Count Ohio State's resume.
They can.
Yeah, but they
that
lost
cannot
head-to-head.
happen. Oregon beat Ohio State.
And look at Oregon's resume compared to what Ohio State would have.
Cannot happen.
Michigan,
Rico,
State Penn,
the whole thing would be a
and
sham.
Iowa.
Wait, who do you want?
I think Ohio State has a better resume.
No chance, but they lost.
They lost
at home
in week 2.
The whole thing would be a sham. The entire thing would be a sham.
I don't do it. I don't agree.
The entire playoff would be a sham. There's no reason to play the season.
I guess. I don't. You start adding up Ohio State's resume. It's way better than Oregon's.
They beat Ohio State.
I get it. They beat them in week 2. But it's an overall resume.
But you can't do that.
Okay. I think if it comes down to it, you'd be surprised that I think they'd lean towards Ohio State.
I really think there's a bias towards the SEC and Ohio State in the Big Ten, but I think that's the one scenario where you just can't. You cannot sell that as like this is normal. And I actually don't think it would come down to that anyway. They would just not have Cincinnati in. That's all they would do.
Okay.
So actually, it's kind of a moot point. You know what I mean? Like they would figure. I don't think it would ever come down to those two.
I don't think Cincinnati should be in under any circumstance.
Their resume's getting worse and worse.
They play nobody. Who'd they beat? Notre Dame?
Notre Dame.
Yeah, they thought Indiana was going to be okay.
So,
Indiana
who
stinks.
have they beat?
I think the only way that I've always said that I think
if everybody else is two
losses.
Yeah.
I think that's the only way you can do it. I think if Alabama has 2 losses, it's harder. But even still, I think they might put Alabama in over Cincinnati with 2 losses.
I would.
Yeah, I think if Alabama lost close to Georgia in the semifinal or the SEC championship.
I hate how I can't see the different conferences in the Big 12, like the East and West.
What do you mean? Oh. All right, let's get to. Oh, there is no East and West. That's why.
So what do they do for the Big 12?
They just do the 1 and 2.
1 and 2.
Yes.
So I mean, Oklahoma could still lose that game too.
Yes.
If they get there.
Yeah, could be Texas.
Yeah. Could be Texas. Could be Baylor. Could be a bunch of teams.
All right, let's get to the games. Sure. We'll stick with the Big 12. Oklahoma State at Texas. Texas minus 5.5. Over/under is 59.5. Did you guys see that I bullied Texas into tweeting again?
Yeah.
Very funny moment. I wish they had just stayed dead for a week. I wish they had stayed dead till kickoff, because that's like actually the pain that Texas fans felt after that game. Just don't say anything for 2 days. Rico, you want to start?
Yeah. Texas showed me a lot last week. It's probably the right side, as we said. With that said, I'm going to go with Oklahoma State. And I know Oklahoma State, it's going to be difficult for them to run the table and set up this awesome matchup against Oklahoma. Oklahoma State's probably going to get tripped up. This looks like the spot you would think they get tripped up. But either way, I like what Gundy's putting together. They're playing defense. Texas, can they get off the mat? Devastating loss. I like Oklahoma State here, plus the 5.5.
Devastating loss. This is a very interesting, like, can you basically recover from something
I don't think college kids recover that quick. I don't know. I do think it's devastating loss. This Oklahoma State team, I got no clue. They're just not what we expect from an Oklahoma State team, which is a lot of points. They play defense. But you got to say they're for real, right? They beat Baylor. They beat Kansas State. They beat Boise on the blue turf. This is a noon kick, which I think helps them to a degree. They've been pointing to this game. I'll take Oak State and the points, coming off kind of a letdown. And, as I said, it's begging me to take the over at 60. It's begging me.
I know.
But they aren't putting up a ton of points. But if Texas makes them go faster, maybe, you know what? I'm going to take Oak State in the over.
I have Oak State in the over as well. I don't know how Texas gets off the mat on this.
And that's a lot of points.
It's a lot of points. 5.5 over 59.5. That's what I have as well. All right, next up, Kentucky at Georgia. Georgia minus 23. Over under is 43.5. Georgia would be the one team, and I know this is going to actually, our great graphic design guy Triggs texted me because he's a Georgia fan. He was like, "Don't ever say Georgia's a sure thing." I'm going to say it again. Georgia is a sure thing, even though knowing their history. Georgia minus 23. Over under is 43.5. It's basically saying that Kentucky's going to score like 13 points. Yeah. Dave, thoughts? You love Kentucky. You are Mr. Kentucky.
Yeah, I love Kentucky. Georgia looked unbeatable, but I'm going to take the points. I think it's right. Like, it didn't shock me when I saw that line. People generally just don't believe in Kentucky, and you saw it last week with the line against LSU, who they throttled. They beat Florida. They deserved to win that game. I watched them, South Carolina. They dominated that game at South Carolina, tough environment. Would it shock me if they lose by 30? No, but listen, that program has been turning around, not just this year, the last couple years. They've turned into a real SEC team. I'll ride with them again. Kentucky.
Yes, absolutely they have. Rico.
It's weird because, like, I do agree with Dan. I think, and Brandon's been saying it all summer, I think Georgia really is the best team in the country, like, bar none.
Well, Brandon also picked Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Head and shoulders above
it's
everybody.
Like, very easy to say that now that who else is there?
Fair enough. But they've shown it. They're dominating people.
Yeah, that's
Rico just put a future on Georgia to win it all.
I did not.
What are their odds?
Like 2-1.
Yeah, probably nothing. 150.
Yeah, it's plus 110.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
even
crazy.
It's nuts.
Rico and
crazy.
the rest of the world has decided they're.
I'm not taking Georgia. I'm just saying. Kentucky's going to want to run the ball.
We should offer the field.
Field verse.
Plus 110 is, yeah.
Kentucky wants to run the ball. I don't think they're gonna against Georgia here, which sets them up in difficult passing downs. It's hard for me to lay 23, which how good Kentucky is playing, but this line kind of tells you all you need to know. The same way they were 15 against Arkansas, it's going to be difficult to score. I'm going to take Georgia laying the points. I also would lean, you know what? I'll take the under as well. Because if I do think Georgia's going to win, I don't think Kentucky's going to score. I'll take the under.
All right, I'm on Kentucky. I think, so Kentucky, the one thing they have going for them in this game is they do have a fantastic offensive line. So I'm hoping that will keep them in this a little bit, because that's obviously, I mean, Georgia's just suffocating teams.
If they fall behind, is Kentucky going to play for a pageant, or are they going to play to try to like come back and win the game?
Yeah.
Because if they try to come back and win the game, if they fall behind, they could lose by 100.
Yeah.
If they're just like, we're going to keep running the ball and try to get out of here with not the ugliest scoreboard.
Newspaper score, yeah.
I'm looking at it right now. I feel like, so Kentucky is going to be the best defense outside of Clemson that that Georgia has faced. Arkansas and Auburn have decent defenses, but Kentucky's a little bit better. So, man, yeah, I'm going to take Kentucky plus 23. All right. Speaking of Auburn at Arkansas minus 3.5, over-under is 54, sorry. Weird, revenge game for Arkansas. Because remember, this is the game last year that they got totally fucked with that, foggy game in Auburn with the kick. What did end up happening? Did Auburn get an extra down or something? Something weird happened in that game.
I think it was that something wasn't called. It was the refs that completely gave the game away.
Yeah, it was one of those games that Arkansas, that really, really sucked for them. I remember walking away from it being like, damn, they got fucked. Most controversial call of 2020 season costs Arkansas a win over number 13 Auburn. Rico, why don't you tell me?
I'm going to go with Auburn. It's two teams don't impress me much here. I'm going to take the points. I think the cat's out of the bag. Everybody, the whole world wanted Arkansas to be the darling of the season. Probably should have won last week, granted. But either way, I just don't think Arkansas is as good as they are. I think Bo Nix is kind of playing with his back to the world. We're trying to prove it. Back against the wall. Everybody wrote him off. I said he sucked. I think I'm back on him. I'm going to take Auburn plus 3.5 here.
I'm looking at it right now. Now I remember it. So Bo Nix snapped the ball, fumbled it, tried to spike it backwards, which is a fumble, and they called it intentional grounding, not a fumble. And Auburn ended up winning with a field goal.
That's a bad call.
Yeah.
I don't agree with what you said about Arkansas. Arkansas, to me, people refused to believe that they were a pretty good SEC team. Yeah, you got absolutely killed by Georgia. But other than that, they can play with anybody in the conference. I like them at home. I still think they're a team that's on the trajectory up, where they get up every week. Success is relatively new to them. The coach gets them going every week. I think the crowd is they haven't had football to root for in a long time. So I think this is a night game.
I'm checking. I think it might be after. Oh, no, it might be night. You might be right. I believe it is.
It's a noon one.
It's a noon?
Auburn, Arkansas?
Yeah. Fuck.
I don't like that. I would have preferred other news, but I'm still going to take Arkansas. I would have liked a lot more if it was at night. I may take it off the card now.
I'm taking Arkansas as well. I do think the revenge angle is real here because they got absolutely fucked last year.
I did not know that.
I also think there's something to be said about Auburn coming off a game against Georgia, very, very physical game. Arkansas coming off against a game against Ole Miss, which is basically playing flag football.
Yeah.
So I think there's definitely a difference there. All right, before we get to the next pick, a quick word from our friends at FTX. Dave, this is another one of your sponsors.
Yeah, they sponsor everybody. And that's what you want when you're involved in a crypto company, because you want to know it's real and that it's not going anywhere and your money's safe. That's what everyone worries about. So crypto, if you see them with us, see them on Major League playoffs, you see them everywhere. Walk down the street, you see FTX. That's where I get all my crypto. So they also sponsor us in a big way. Good guys. So FTX, if you're buying crypto, Bitcoin, Doge, you name it, they got the most coins. FTX.
They are riders. Visit the App Store, download FTX for free. Be a rider. Sign up using your EDU email to increase your school's chances to win. We're running a contest for the college football show. $100,000 prize split among signups for the number one school. So sign up with your EDU address. Do it right now. FTX. It has all the crypto. It's the best in the biz. Dave highly recommends it. So do it right now. Download FTX for free. Also, we're brought to you by our friends at TickPick. You need to ride with TickPick this fall because they have no service charges, never charge any service fees. So football's finally back, and the easiest pick any of us can make is TickPick. That's TickPick. It's the original no-fee ticket site and the only one you'll ever need for your go-to all football games. Upcoming, we're going to Tennessee on Saturday night. We'll use TickPick there because there's no fees. We're going to Indiana. We'll use TickPick there.
Well, Indiana's got to earn it.
Yeah, Indiana's got to earn it, and then we will use TickPick. But TickPick is the best. If you don't believe it, you can find better prices somewhere else on another ticket price. TickPick will give you 110% of the difference in the purchase price. So they're basically saying go try to beat their prices. You can't. And if you can, they will put their money where their mouth is. So visit tickpick.com/pick'em today. Use the promo code pick'em to save $10 on your first order of tickets to any live event. Tickpick.com/pick'em. Tickpick.com/pick'em today. Use promo code pick'em. All right. TCU at Oklahoma. Oklahoma minus 13.5, over under 66. This is a night game. Dave, I'll start with you.
TCU destroyed Texas Tech, went over. But I like Oklahoma here. I like the quarterback switch. I don't think Rattler's good, and I love the over. It almost seems too easy. It seems like it should be an 80.
What's the number?
65.
66.
TCU got waxed
by Texas.
By SMU a couple of weeks ago. Their offense.
They had a lot of defensive guys out.
I'm taking Oklahoma in the over, but I could also see myself watching this game and being like, Dave, you moron. You know OU's a fucking fraud. TCU will be up for this game.
Do you think there's there's a letdown potential here?
For Oklahoma?
Yeah.
100%.
100%.
There's also rumors on if Max Dugan's not playing. There's a lot.
I will say Oklahoma looked better.
TCU quarterback.
I still kind of think Gary Patterson's coaching for his job.
No.
I think
he's been there for like 30 years.
I get it.
He's
At what point do we get rid of the guy?
I don't think they're a type of school that gets rid of those guys.
All right, fine. I just don't think
he might retire.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll get fired.
All right.
TCU,
he is the program.
You're right. I've learned that, but he's
you know what
hasn't been great.
I'm taking TCU. I'm taking TCU in the over. I think they're ready.
I like that
Oklahoma. Maybe turn because they should have covered versus Kansas State, who I think is decent. So the last two games have been OU's best. But this is a game you come off that Texas, very vintage Oklahoma. You take the eye off the ball for a second. TCU hates Oklahoma. I'm sure it's Texas, Oklahoma. No one talks about TCU. Little dog, but Gary Peterson. I like TCU now. I would talk myself into it. I like TCU in the over.
Love it. I have TCU in the over as well, plus 13.
I love the over. I'll ride with you. I like TCU as well. I do think it's a letdown spot.
You don't have to ride with us. We ride with you.
I've been out on Oklahoma for a while. But you're our boss.
We're not. Go ahead.
Oh, you know what? Alex Bennett's going to get mad anyway. Give me Oklahoma.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to have to switch it anyway.
Love it.
I'm going to have to switch it anyway.
Love it.
She gets mad. So that's why I switched last week.
Last one on the big games. Again, this might be your apple picking weekend, so be advised on that. Ole Miss and Tennessee, we will be there. Lane Kiffin coming back to Tennessee. Coach Doug's coming back to Tennessee. Probably the biggest game Tennessee's had in a few years.
Very excited to be there.
Very excited. Night game. Tennessee's coming off a couple big wins.
Sweatshirt game.
You
can bet and get. You take Tennessee on Barstool Sports book. You automatically, we offered this once. They didn't cover. People were like, let us bet both sides. Tennessee's turned the corner. But either way, you bet it. They cover. They don't. You get the hoodie.
So Tennessee's plus 3. Over-under's 82. Come check out the college football show. We will be there. I think we're live at 6 o'clock. Can you get the address for me, Katie?
While you get that, 82, to my knowledge, is the highest over in SEC history.
To my knowledge as well. It should be a shootout. I'm excited for that. Although I think there's a little rain in the forecast. Makes me a little nervous.
That hurts.
Dave, you want to start?
Tennessee, all of a sudden, has come out of nowhere the last couple of weeks, making this game interesting. I like Ole Miss. Their defense appears to just be exactly what it has been in recent memory. They start hot, but the last 2 weeks that can't stop a fucking cold. So I am going to take Tennessee at home, but nothing would surprise me in this game. This is a big game for Tennessee. Huge game for Tennessee. Huge. They haven't won a game that should be big in forever.
This is similar to like Nebraska on last Saturday.
Correct. It's very similar.
Yeah.
Very similar. But I'm going to take the Vols.
Okay. AM showers, so we should be okay by nighttime.
They steal one from Florida recently?
No, I don't think they did.
A couple of years back. I bet Florida. And I know Tennessee beat them.
No,
really?
I mean, they've gone
2016, I want to feel like.
Oh, well.
Well, 2016, they were
5 years
decent,
ago.
I want to say. They just have... 2016, I think they finished 8.
South Carolina stinks. They killed them, but that Missouri score, 62-24, that was out of the clouds.
That's you talk about the turning. I'm on Tennessee as well. I think
they were 9-4 in 2016, so that was probably the last year that they were decent.
Okay,
and they
were definitely a dog to Florida that night.
Gun ahead, I'd take the over too. By the way,
yeah, 82, but it's just one of those games.
If you have one mistake.
Second. Yeah, if you have one fourth and goal from the 5.
Although I was live betting Oklahoma, Texas under and got smushed. I had it at like 93.
Yeah. They beat Florida that year. They beat Georgia that year. Then they lost 3 in a row to Texas A&M, Alabama, and South Carolina, and they lost to Vandy, which is kind of crazy. That was, I think, Butch Jones' last year. Shout out Butch Jones. Where is he now? I saw him pop up on the sideline.
It's tough because he looks
One of
like
the Florida
so many
schools?
offensive coordinators.
Yeah.
He could be multiple places.
I was watching
Arkansas State.
That's right. I was watching Arkansas State the other night against.
Is he the head coach?
Coastal.
Yeah, he is the head coach against Coastal.
Yeah.
And Coastal fucking smoked them. Did you see them? I actually kind of didn't like it. Coastal's awesome, their whole vibe. But in the post-game locker room, they had a chainsaw.
I did see that.
And a stuffed animal husky, and they cut its head off.
Tough with the husky.
That's what they do.
That's tough. They do the WWE stuff. They do the whole. But yeah, Butch Jones, he may be the most offensive coordinator looking guy there ever lived.
He's an offensive coordinator.
Grab your face mask, yell, spit comes on you.
/ a Marine.
Yeah, correct. Yep.
Yes. Butch Jones thinks he was a Marine in Vietnam, being like, get back in.
Yes, correct. Throwing people on grenades.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Get up when your body parts are all over the place.
Yeah, that's Butch Jones.
Lives are on the line.
Yes,
Butch Jones.
All right, what's your play?
I'm going to take Tennessee here. I think
we all agree.
Yeah, it's the line's telling me a lot. I'm not impressed with Ole Miss defense. I think Tennessee has turned the corner, like we said.
I will say, if I'm thinking about this, the only certainty here, and I do think it's a certainty, is Ole Miss is going to score 40+ points.
Yeah.
Like their offense will not be stopped. I've watched them a lot more than Tennessee, but I'm just looking at the scores on Tennessee.
I'm so excited for this game because we don't get to go to a lot of these games because we work nonstop. But this one, we're gonna go. Checkered. Did you see they're doing the checkered stadium?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, by section. So it'll be orange and white checkered throughout the stadium. Going to be fucking sick.
Rocky Top's fucking electric when they're good, too, and they haven't been good forever.
I am very, very excited for this
I'm
one.
just taking the points roof of a home team, but this is going to be fucking a tough game.
Night game, obviously.
It's at the Hill Bar and Grill. It's at 1105 Forest Avenue.
1105 Forest Avenue. Come see us, 6 o'clock. We're going live for the pregame show. Then we'll be at the game. Very, very excited. Will you be on the stream on Sunday?
Sunday?
Yeah.
In.
Oh. All day?
What do you want to do? The 8 o'clock game?
Well, maybe.
Yeah, whatever you want.
Maybe get there for the London game and stay till...
London game's a tough ask.
Okay.
You want me to get there for London? Who's playing the London game?
No, that's okay.
Who's playing the London game?
Yeah.
The Dolphins.
Jags.
I can't. Remember last week? Dolphins. I can't do it. Can't
You're
do
whispering on a podcast.
We can't do the Dolphins.
Why? Because you don't like Frank the Tank?
No.
Wow. Is Frank a skell?
Is that what
he's
you
not.
were just
It's
saying?
just a lot. It's a lot.
But that's
He's
what
a
you're
lot.
saying?
He is a lot.
It's a lot. They're going to lose. They're not good. He already said they're going to lose to the Jaguars.
He is a lot.
We'll get there and then
It's a lot. Sundays are a lot. Sundays are a lot of work.
He's my guy. He's a Mets guy.
We're going to be the walking wounded on Sunday because I think PFT's got to go somewhere this weekend. He's going to be drinking. Hank's going to LSU, Florida, which is going to be...
Surprised you guys aren't going there for that game.
Yeah, that's going to be...
For what?
I don't...
Just like the
LSU,
big game
Florida.
atmosphere.
Trying to promote the book, dude.
11 a.m. LSU, Florida. I don't know if it will be 60% full. It's gonna be bad.
Well, I mean, we go where the book goes.
Coach O. I wish Coach O could
Get on
fire
board.
himself and become the interim so we could win some money.
That would be great.
Come in with a mustache and be like, all right,
He
here we
would.
go. Yeah, he would. He'd win everything.
Interim Ed.
All right, let's go with our cards. I have a small card this week. I will add, Dylan, but I have a small card. What?
Just stick with what you got. You just said yourself.
No, because I haven't. The reason I have a small card is I haven't been able to go fully through everything.
Oh, okay. What are your ads?
Sorry,
Ads haven't been great. I'm just trying to help you.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Dan, you said
I
it,
went
not me.
54% all last season.
I know. What?
What'd you go?
Close. 51.
Were
I think
you?
I was last year.
Are
I
you
was around
sure?
there. Yeah, it was close. It was
You
close.
positive?
Yeah. All right. Oregon's got some fucking trouble at running
I'm
back.
1-0 this week, by the way.
I know. I'm 0-1. I'm 0-1.
Okay,
Hand
make
up.
sure, Dylan, you got that? Yep.
Hand up.
I should probably just cancel the rest of my picks this week. Just being
I
like
wish I was
1-0.
on that. I thought it was so easy.
It was the easiest bet
Yeah.
ever.
Oregon's got some trouble at running back. I've been going against Cal. I thought Cal was good in the beginning of the season. They were covering against the spread. They're just not as good as I thought.
Cal is my all-time. I've never won a bet on or against
Cal and Clemson, and you passed
football.
Clemson to me. I can't win on Clemson.
Cannot win a bet.
I can't win on Clemson. Oregon minus 13.5. I think the Ducks are in a prove-it spot. Cal's 85th in points per game on D. They give up 400 yards per game, and they're 116th for the pass. Oregon's got to get back in the playoff discussion here. I think they got to start winning some games in the Pac-12. Big would help their resume as well. Oregon minus 13.5. San Diego State minus 9.5. Ground and pound game. They got a shutdown defense, and San Jose State struggles on offense. San Diego State wins this one minus 9.5. Mizzou plus 9 for the simple letdown of A&M.
I know. Mizzou's that bad.
It's a principle.
Yeah, no, it's the right spot.
But they could score. They really can. They could score. 30,
I also think that could be something they build on, to be honest.
Yeah,
I don't think that's an automatic letdown. It could be like, oh, we're a 2-loss team. If they win their conference, they're in the playoffs probably, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Alabama would need to lose another because they've already lost 2. So they wouldn't be able to get to the SEC championship game unless Alabama loses another.
Mizzou has 37 points a game, 467 yards, and 296 through the air. A&M in a letdown spot. I'll take Mizzou to keep it close. Virginia, Duke over 69.5. Virginia minus 11. Virginia's quarterback Brennan Armstrong throws for 410 a game. Duke is 106th past D. Duke can score. They'll get enough here to get the over, but I do like Virginia in a blowout. Arizona, Colorado under 46.5. Arizona's going to be on a backup quarterback, it looks like. The offense is combined to score 30. The defenses only allow 55. They're not as awful as you would think. Under 46.5. It says 3:30 kick Eastern. What time is that in Colorado? 1:30, 12:30? 1:30? Okay, that's early. Ugly under. I'll take that. It only helps my case.
It's a 2-system quarterback.
Is it?
Quarterback system, yeah. If you look, they have exact same number of
for
completions.
Arizona?
Yeah.
Okay, well, one of them got hurt, though.
Yes, they did. So, but they're split.
Got
They have
it.
the same amount of
Okay.
completions.
Liberty first half, I didn't see a number. TBD. UL Monroe is awful, one of the worst defenses in the country. Took Liberty last week. It was easy. We'll take Liberty. Seems like a rat. NC State minus 3, going to BC. I just love. What do you think? Any advice?
I don't know.
I just love Devin Leary. It's going to be a war.
I think I'll throw this out there. My mortal lock is BC.
You got to stick with it. You have to stick with it.
I mean,
it makes the show better. Don't.
Yeah, no, don't
do that.
All right. I kind of knew it.
Literally, I got hard when you said it. It looked like a rat, and you took it. Like, because you are a rat that cannot smell cheese.
No.
Generally, it's like you. Is it a rat? Is it a rat? Let me just stick my hand in here and see what happens.
Yeah.
BC at home. They're gonna NC State. They beat Clemson. Big fucking whoop at home. BC should have beat Clemson. They were going in on the road. BC's kind of turning around. Quarterback's good. They're gonna win that game.
You're a rat that sees a rat that's dead. And you're like, how'd this rat die? Oh, he must be malnourished. Let me eat this cheese right next to him that has all the rat poison.
Yeah. Watch this, guys. This may be a trap. This may be an electric shock, and then you just grab it and you get shocked. You're like, oh, told you. I hope you're right. That's
gonna be a fun one.
I was sort of debating it. It was one and maybe one other, but that was what I was. But once you said that phrase.
Also,
no, I mean it's a small play for me, and now the pick'em is in play.
Yeah,
so
I should mention too that Dave does deserve credit. He went 3-0 in his potential mortal loss.
I did. Those 3 that I debated.
I thought we were
between,
fucked. His first 2 won.
Florida, Ohio State, Navy.
Yep.
Air Force plus 4.5. I think Air Force can win the game outright. Boise is 98th against the rush. Air Force is good. They're going to be able to run on them. I love Air Force in this spot. Nevada, Hawaii over 61. Carson Strong just scores. Hawaii's not the air it out team that they were, but I am going to take the over on that one.
I'll do mine real quick, then Dave can do his. I have UTEP plus 7. Memphis Navy over 55 on Thursday night. Eastern Michigan plus 2, UCLA plus 2, Air Force plus 4.5 as well. Nevada, Hawaii over 60.5 as well, and then Florida minus 10. And then I will say my mortal lock.
Who's Florida playing?
LSU. And then
it was all the injuries in the world. Everyone just opted out.
Yeah, I don't know if
does he get fired? What's the deal?
He's going to get fired.
He's probably lost the locker room.
Yes,
Games in the swamp, or is that LSU?
No, it's LSU. He's going to get fired. And I will be adding more, Dylan.
Okay.
Because I have to go through another once through. I went 1 through. I like to go 2 through. Dave, your card.
Oklahoma State. Already said that. I'm going to stick with the over in there, even though I don't love it. But Oak State in the over. This you want to talk about rat? This one seems like a rat to me. Iowa minus 11.5 at home against Purdue. That seems like I'm doing your move, Rico, because I'm still taking Iowa. I don't. Really,
yeah, I mean it's a letdown spot.
I guess, but Purdue sucks.
Yeah.
I'm reversing on this one. I like Virginia Tech at home plus 4.5 against Pittsburgh. I think VTech probably wins that game.
What's the over-under in that game? Wait, Virginia Tech at home against Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
4.5? They're minus
plus
4.5. Pittsburgh's pretty good.
58.5.
Are they?
Yes.
Why?
Pittsburgh's pretty good.
Why?
Their
They lost to
offense
Western
is
Michigan.
great.
They've crushed everyone else.
They beat Tennessee pretty handily.
By the way, we got. I told Angelina she had to come in here, so we do have to get her.
Oh yeah, can you go get her? Yeah. All right.
Iowa State, Kansas State. I like Kansas State plus 6.5 at home to keep that close. Although as I visualize that, I could see like Iowa State kicking the shit out of them. Whatever. The quarterback's healthy. K-State. Okay, I'm gonna stick with K-State. TCU plus 13.5 over 65. I gave out Tennessee plus 3. I'm opposite of you guys. Boise at home minus 4.5 against Air Force. Blue turf. I think they win that by double digits. I think they shut down the option.
Boise should never wear their all orange jerseys. They're terrible. I hate them. That's
I
all
don't hate them as much
I
as
hate
you.
them.
Why
I think they have grays that look good. They have the blues that look good.
The blue on blue is so
I
tough,
like the
though.
blue on blue. I hate the.
I like that black. They do have a
Blacks
They're
look
turning
good.
into Oregon.
Orange are terrible.
Yeah, the black.
Looking,
the white.
you guys. So they lost at home. They lost at home to Nevada, but they beat BYU on the road. They.
I'm taking Air Force just based on the fact that it's 1 week to get ready for the option, and you are coming off a huge win against BYU at BYU.
I don't think BYU's that good.
That's why.
I actually that talk about a weird game. Baylor's playing BYU this week.
Yeah.
I just don't think you get rich betting against the blue turf. And then I already gave out BC was my mortal lock plus 3 at home. I think they beat a not very good NC State team.
Okay. Mortal locks. Rest of the mortal locks.
4-3 and Kentucky team total under 9.5.
Whoa!
Wow.
It's 9.5.
Yeah.
Oh
I'm
my god!
putting it
You're
up
one
on the table
football
for that
play
one.
away from a sweat the entire
Oh
game.
my god!
Yeah.
One bounce ball off of the helmet on a punt.
I would like it more if it was 10.5, but I have
Wow!
I have faith in
Such
Georgia's
a crazy
defense.
That's
pick. I almost have to take
crazy
it.
bet. I kind of love
Talk
it.
about
Look at Rico getting up for Angelina. What about that?
we'll talk about hell on earth though. Just watching that game.
Oh,
Like,
you can't watch
I
it.
guess it's a weird. You're fine with Kentucky. Georgia scoring. Well, no. Rico's
that's
not on the
factually
microphone, but for
incorrect.
those, he said
touchdown
one
instead of a field
touchdown
goal.
and you're
Touchdown instead of a field
One
goal.
touchdown and you're fucked.
No, you win.
But what about a touchdown and safety? You're fucked.
You still win.
Oh, what about 3 field goals? You're fucked.
Still win.
All right. I think everyone never mind.
I mean, you did. The number is
As soon as you
9.5.
you get a touchdown in the first half, you're fucked.
Well,
No. You're still.
Katie, if they get a touchdown in the first half, do you think you're fucked?
Kentucky runs the ball. They need to run the ball. Georgia will not let them run the ball.
That's not the question I'm asking.
I know that.
If they get
It's
a
gonna
touchdown in the
suck, but-
first half, where are you putting the meter?
I mean,
In danger alert, but still.
Yeah.
you'd prefer not
That's all
to.
my point. That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying.
I would
tough.
say under
Sweat.
was
We all
2
agree
points
she's
away
gonna
from
sweat
the
it out.
total.
That's all.
and
But
it stayed under for the
your
second
exact
half.
quote is if they score a touchdown, you're fucked. What if the touchdown comes with 2 minutes left in the fourth and garbage time?
You didn't let me clarify. You just jumped on me. If they get a touchdown in the first half, I think there's no way you could stay under 9.5.
I disagree with
All
that,
right,
but
so you want to put a bet on that?
What do you think? I mean, what do you want to do? Kentucky scores a touchdown in the first half. I think they get more than 10 points.
Okay. So what?
Or
I
10
think we
points
need-
of more.
It's only I'm only saying in the first half. When they go get the touchdown with 2 minutes left in the game, and you're going to say, "Oh, I told you so," and they lose 50
So
to
it should
7.
be touchdown. You should go
Touchdown in
over
the first half.
You should go over 9.5 on your card.
What's their point total in the first half?
well, you're not saying they're going to score. You're just saying
No.
if they score, you were just throwing
it's a
stuff
cause and
in.
First
effect.
half.
Yeah,
So
right.
give us the
Score in the
first
first
half.
half.
As
They
if
will get.
it was almost like what do they call that? Mansplaining?
Yes.
When it's like, hey, Katie, you realize if they score a touchdown the first half,
You're
you
fucked.
could be in
Yeah.
trouble.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Total points first half. We need to find
Still
that.
don't know. I don't know.
All right. So no, you got to take. You have to
think I was
take
being
over
mean to
9.5.
you? I'm not being mean to you.
You have to
We're
take
just
over
having
9.5.
semantics.
You have to.
But he didn't even say he believes that.
Yeah.
He was just saying something.
Yeah.
Do you
We're
think
all
that? Do
talking
you
about how
think
she's going to
Kentucky is
sweat it
gonna?
out?
Do you think Kentucky's going to score more than 10?
No.
All right, so there we go.
Okay. That was.
Yeah.
All right.
It's 9.5.
Angelina.
But I
sorry.
do think if they score in the first half, they're going to get to
Correct.
10.
I understand, but you don't think that's going to happen.
No.
Okay.
Now I might do it as a spite bet.
So
It's their
Katie?
first half bet. No, to you.
I didn't bet it.
All right.
Angelina, sorry you had to see that.
No, you're good.
Angelina's here.
How you were
have-
pretty good last week, right?
Yeah, I went 5-2 in
Okay.
I didn't take them.
in just college in general. 3-1 in FCS, and then I went 7-5 in NFL.
Okay. So what do you got this week?
I like a lot of underdogs, which is kind of bad.
Why is that bad? I feel like that's good.
I feel like it's bad because I've seen many things against what I like.
I have a quick question on a side note. The person who got hurt, Penn State versus Villanova, are they okay?
Yeah, he's good.
Okay.
It was a concussion, and he was out for a good 3 minutes.
Yep.
So they ended up taking all protocols, but
he's fine.
He's good. Yeah.
Good. Okay. Lesson 2. The bets always matter. Like I saw your tweet, and I had money on the game. You're like, the bets don't matter anymore because it's about this guy laying on the field. No. Yeah. We want that guy in the field to be okay, but the bets still count. When Penn says it's time to pay up, they're not like, well, what happened to that guy on the field?
Yeah, you got to remember, you're talking to Mr. Potter. He finds money in a newspaper. He's keeping it.
Angelina, I'll give you a quick example. If you ever see me tweet, they're just kids, that means that I am motherfucking these kids in wherever I'm sitting in the moment.
Now, Villanova covered that game, you remember, but I'm on it watching every score, and then on my Twitter feed, I don't care about my bets anymore. It's like, I'm riding. I'm with you.
I always knew, for the entire game, I had no doubt that they were going to cover. I really had zero doubt. I really did. But in that moment, you have to realize that, like, it's the people who do get hurt, that it's not usually one of your best friends.
No, and they're real people. Yeah. We get it.
Yes.
And it's one of your friends. So I got a $250,000 on your like FC1 games. Like suddenly you're like, I don't care about my picks anymore. It's
no.
I'm in.
Sorry. I cared about my picks, and I did. It was an emotional.
I think I said it to you when she tweeted, like, you don't want to see this from the girl you're fading.
Yeah.
No.
Or following.
No, but they did cover.
I think the tweet's fine. It's just like you can't actually think that the bet doesn't matter.
It matters.
No.
You just don't associate with the picks don't matter anymore.
It was an emotional tweet.
Okay.
It was
That's
more
fair.
like.
It became emotional for me.
That's a fair. And it became emotional for me because he got emotional.
But guess what? It's okay. They covered.
Yes. And he was fine.
And he's fine.
So that's a win-win.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone won.
Okay. Good.
So it was fine.
You got us all.
We also just beat JMU.
Okay.
Which was huge.
It was an emotional domino. You gave it to Dave. Dave gave it to me. He was very distressed about you saying the bet doesn't matter.
I'm sorry.
All of her picks. She's like, my picks don't matter anymore because someone's hurt.
I will never.
It's football. Contact sport.
I will never say that my bets don't matter. The bets always matter.
Always.
The bets always matter.
Always.
You can. You know what you got to say? Just said some things are bigger than sports.
Some things are.
Yeah,
that's easy. I came up with that.
So who do you have this week? And we got to follow. If we go, we're going. They matter. They matter from kickoff noon to the midnight. They're done. They all matter.
All right.
So who do we like?
So this week, I haven't looked at anything FCS right now because
they come out late.
They come out
you also
so
were
late.
saying your lines were wild.
A couple of them. I tried to bet Maine, but it was like 4 points.
That's the one she lost.
That was the one that I lost.
So I didn't bet it because it was like 5-1, and I was like,
yeah, it moved a crazy amount.
Yes.
Even like I think I took an under. It was like a Delaware under.
You had one over that one by like a gazillion points. I saw.
Yeah.
All right,
also, you're doing a great job, but can I just say one more thing?
Was it Woodford again?
Jacksonville State and Jackson State
needed
differentiation. Yeah.
No, I know.
Yeah, I went to look to bet.
Yeah, I had to. I'd be like, we're looking at different teams.
Everyone
You're getting a little window of me and Dan looking up these ridiculous teams, like in the middle of nowhere, being like, who is this? When are they playing? Why is this line off? She says these games don't matter anymore. Someone's down at Villanova.
Yeah, when I get the text, I drop everything. So then I'm like,
Jacksonville State is in Alabama.
Yes.
It's in Alabama.
Right.
And everyone was tweeting at me like, did you mean Jackson State? I'm like, no, I like Jacksonville State.
Yes.
It's a good team.
So you got to say all the way. You got to say Jacksonville State.
I did.
Oh, I got a text at Jackson State.
I just copied what you sent me. That's what we're doing at 9 a.m. He's like, you have Angelina's picks.
No, okay.
I mean, seriously, that is literally like I'm at the park, my kid's running into traffic, and I'm like, Jackson State,
yes,
what's going on?
I will make sure I specify.
Okay.
Okay, but I know you guys were just talking about Kentucky, Georgia, and that was one of the ones that I was looking at because I really like Kentucky's defense. And I think that teams that talk so much about how like bad the offense is don't have like a clear understanding of how important defense is. I think it I like the under for this game personally.
So the ladies are kind of aligned here.
Kind of like this.
I do like the under for the game.
Now Rico said if they score a bunch of touchdowns, that could be a problem for the under.
I didn't say a bunch of touchdowns.
Dude, what are your
one touchdown
thoughts on
in the first half?
If let's say Kentucky scores a touchdown,
Okay.
what are your thoughts?
Kentucky scores a touchdown in the.
Let's say halfway through the first quarter.
I still think it's fine.
Okay.
What is the total?
43.
Yeah.
So you're going under.
43 and a half.
Okay.
43 and a half.
So under in that game.
Yeah. I was debating whether or not I liked the points just because to favor Georgia more than 3 touchdowns over a 6-0 team, a 6-0 Kentucky, which obviously doesn't have as good as like a resume as Georgia does.
They actually do.
I mean, their biggest win was probably Florida.
Well, yeah, Florida. They beat LSU last week like a drum. I mean, they have good wins.
They do have good
like,
wins.
Who's Georgia beating? That's so impressive.
People still think Clemson.
Well, Clemson's a 2-loss team. That's not very good. They've just been more impressive in the fashion that they've won. They're winning by 100, whereas Georgia, though, is still pretty good.
No, I know. And I know that Kentucky does let up 17 points per game, which is a lot.
You got all your stats in line today.
It's a lot because I was looking into this game heavily, which is probably something I shouldn't do, which is probably why I won't take plus 23 for...
so what are we on? We're just the under?
I like the under for this game.
Okay.
What about Georgia's offense?
I think Georgia's offense is very, very...
By the way, we've been doing this forever. I actually texted her because she wasn't at Pick'em. I'm like, why aren't you here?
Right.
Like, I need your picks. She's still in school. I'm like, you're going to have to get out of class.
Yes.
Like, I mean, we need the picks.
I can get out of
We'll write
class.
a note. Yeah.
Like Dan and Dave said, like, excuse Pick'em.
Prescription.
I will. I'll drive here and then I'll drive back.
We're 2 men on our deathbed. We need winners.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that. What else is that? It?
For that game, I'm done with that. I like the under.
Got it.
I also really liked Cal. Cal plus 13.5.
Ooh.
It was against Oregon.
Yep.
Oregon's coming off of a bye week. I think that the bye week won this week. So I think that that's going to carry over into the Cal game. Oregon also has a lot of players out.
Wait, what did you mean by the bye week?
The bye week won. Like, it's going to win. Like this.
Got it.
The bye week beat them up. I think the bye week's going to beat up Oregon, especially with the fact that they also have a lot of injured players.
You meant what?
The bye week wins. So
does anyone know what that means?
I've only heard that as like an old Jets joke from my dad. Like,
like
Jets are on a bye, take the bye plus 6.
Yeah.
But
the bye week wins. I think that.
I still don't get it.
Okay. It basically means that since they had an off week, they lost. They just came off of a loss from Stanford. Then they went into a bye week.
They didn't get it out of their system right away.
Yeah.
So they lost to Stanford. They weren't able to beat up on another team to be like, all right, Stanford's behind us. They had to dwell on it for an entire week.
So that's good.
So
for Cal.
That's good
Correct.
for Cal.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be motivated.
That's not.
I don't know.
And then Oregon also has a bunch of players injured. Yeah. So
running back's a mess.
Rico, this is Angelina's.
No, I appreciate the input. I appreciate the input.
Listen, it's rude what he's doing to you.
I'm sorry.
No, you don't.
Maybe say this is what he wants. He wants you to apologize. No, he apologize.
Apologize.
Into the mic.
Into the mic.
Sorry, Angelina.
It's okay. Thank you.
Okay. Anything else?
All right. So Cal under.
Cal plus 13.5.
Yeah.
I liked Syracuse plus 14 against Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I think of that game.
That game, you know what it is? There are certain games that if they have happened in history, you just think they'll keep happening. Syracuse beat Clemson 6 years ago on a Friday night.
And they almost beat them, I think, another time.
It's 4 years ago today.
4 years ago on a Friday night.
That guy Ugla Douglia sucks.
Ugla Douglia does suck.
Yeah, I think Syracuse is a pretty good team. I think that they
Liberty.
I think that was a statement win for them.
How did, by the way, Kelly in Vegas do last week? Did her? I know she didn't win money. Did her?
She had LSU.
Oh yeah. Okay. So that's awesome. All right.
And Syracuse last week did really good against Wake Forest. So.
All right. So Syracuse under Kentucky and Cal.
That's
it.
I really didn't like that much else.
So we don't want more than all right.
Yep.
There's 3 from you, and you'll give us the FCS on the morning.
Yeah.
Great job.
Okay.
Thank you, Angelina.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, we'll finish up with the rest of the Mortal Locks. Liam.
I don't want to, but I'm with you. I'm taking Florida.
Okay, Florida. Yep, it sucks, but it's
fucked up.
I think LSU's in deep doo-doo. Deep doo-doo. They've lost like everyone.
Hank might be going to a funeral.
Their best offensive player, their best defensive player, just everyone. Hank.
I want to do LSU money line, but I'm not going to. I'm going to take the under in Tennessee Ole Miss.
Oh, I hate
82. That's such a jerk thing to do.
I hate it.
We're going to be there. Did you know that?
It's a lot of points, but I hate it.
Okay.
I'd like to see points.
But if I took Ole Miss, you'd be like, we're going to be there. I'd like to see Tennessee win. Like, I can't win. You can't win.
Well, Tennessee plus
Is
3
there some underlying tension right now between the boys?
No, every time Big Cat just...
I feel like there's some underlying tension
Big Cat
going on
loves
between
to
the
just
boys.
find a
They
way.
went head-to-head Sunday.
Hank always roots against
Dan,
me.
this is the pick I have. And he's like, well, actually, I was in the 3rd grade. Like, they were my favorite team. How could you do this to me?
No, it's actually just every Sunday you show up halfway through the games, you have everything that I have opposite.
You got him this week, though.
It's usually
We got to
Sunday
get on the
night.
same page.
You beat us, Lions.
Yeah, what are you
beat
saying,
us.
Liam?
It's usually Sunday night.
Yeah.
when they just
That
go
gets
at
to
each
this
other.
What do you
Yeah.
at, Chiefs?
Well, you just don't believe my football knowledge. I don't lose statement games like that often. I really don't.
Listen, that's
on me.
under's
That was
a
on
good
me.
pick. Good pick.
Thank
We
you.
actually have agreed that Sunday night we're going to start getting on the same page because
I like that.
it's good for everyone when we're all together.
Okay.
Aria.
Oh, I'm like 5-2, by the way.
Oh, wow. So even better pick.
Flexing.
3-3. I'm going with Arkansas minus 3.5.
Okay. Dylan, did Dave give you the? Did he go up and give you the?
I will find out this afternoon. I'm talking to MB
No.
this afternoon.
Why? Oh. Okay.
Oh no, I haven't. It's my fault.
Okay.
It's all good.
It's just like you're so. I just
viciously
forgot.
shaking
Yeah,
his
yeah.
head.
No, but no one asked me. I'll. Yeah.
Okay. We'll get that. All right.
I'm 3-3 as well. My lock is Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
Head-to-head.
Okay. You know we're gonna be at the game. I just said that to him. You know we're gonna be at the game. Rico, I'll go first. You go second, Rico.
Got it.
Dave's is BC minus 3.
6-1, guys. Come on now, help us out.
I'm taking Arizona State. Pick 'em at Utah. Arizona State has
them.
played really good the last few weeks. They have really kind of put it on. They had that terrible loss at BYU where they fumbled a bunch. Utah has come back to life. They killed
That's
USC.
my question. What have they done since Brewer left?
Well, what's your
No,
name,
they killed.
Dylan?
They killed.
Melis McCann, MCC, and
How do you spell your first name?
DYLN.
I put in a recommendation, and MB's like, spell his name right at least.
What'd you spell?
Dillon.
Did you just write recommendation?
I said I recommend Dylan.
And done.
That's Belichick. I resign as HC of NYJ.
Oh man. All right.
So you're Arizona State.
Arizona State. I haven't given it yet. Keep giving us Arizona State. Why do you love Arizona State?
I think the Utah beat the fuck out of USC, which is just a mess right now. And Arizona State has turned the corner. I mean, look what they did last week. Stanford is not a bad Stanford team. They beat Oregon. They beat
Everybody said to
USC
take Stanford last week too.
Yeah,
Yep.
they beat them pretty soundly. I think their defense is playing well. Defense travels. I like Arizona State.
That field.
Plus, Herm has a legit shot at that conference now.
Yeah, no, this is a big game for them.
Yeah,
That field, smoky, mountainy. Is that
Yeah.
a night game?
It's a night game.
All right. I'll be on it. I'll root for it.
Thank you. Rico.
Colorado State first half minus 6.5, but the lock is Colorado State minus 9.5.
Against?
Yeah, New Mexico. Terry Wilson has a dislocated elbow. We've gone against New Mexico in the past. Colorado State's losses are, the past couple of weeks, lost by 3 to Vandy. They were up on Iowa at the half, lost that game by 10, and they beat Toledo. I think they're both 1-3 or 2-3. Like they're both under 500 teams, but Colorado State is way different than New Mexico.
Adazio, be a dude.
Yeah, I like Colorado State here. I think they take care of business.
What time's that game?
Minus 9.5. I thought I saw like a
7 p.m.
Is it a 7 o'clock kick?
Yeah.
Which
So
means
we're all nights.
4 o'clock out there, 7 o'clock here. Colorado State gets it done. They've been playing better.
We got off
Wilson's
hot.
hurt.
We need to. I don't
Give it
know.
to
What
me.
are we up? What is
I've
the
been
pick and parlay up?
fucking
Like
Still probably up
6 units.
7, 8.
It's about.
It's okay. So can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's 10.5.
Okay. I had written, if you look, 10.
That's a big
down
difference.
to 9.5 last night. It's back
So
to
what
10.5.
do?
Still taking it.
10.5.
10.5.
Okay.
You understand that I do, like, you can't control it by the minute.
I just wanted, that's a
Show
big
the
difference.
cameras.
I want to give, when
10,
we give out our picks, I want
9.5.
people to be able to get the lines for at least a day
Absolutely.
that we have.
Okay.
And look, here it is. Arizona's -1, so there it is.
There you go. Yeah, they moved.
And they'll probably
fair
make
enough.
it -1.5
I'm actually
with
glad that
pick'em
you said that because I thought it was. I didn't think there'd be a lot of action on that game to move. So
Okay.
thank you. 10.5.
All right. Good show, everyone. Way to go.
Good
Great show.
Let's go. Let's hit the parlay.
BC. Wait, what time is BC? It's late, right? Yeah, 7:30. I love that. I love it.